Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Pat Ziemer here with MagnaWave for our Tuesday edition of MagnaWave Office Hours. I've had some issues the last couple of weeks, traveling a little bit, had some internet issues here at our Florida office, but we got things we hope pretty well squared away, and everything's going to work out all right. Thanks for those of you that are with us on Castbox and coming in to join us here on YouTube and Facebook Live. We're glad Alicia's with us, Northern Lights is with us, Tracy's with us this morning, Jackie's with us, and Alicia. I said Alicia. So we're glad you're here. We got a lot of things to talk about, a little catching up, some questions that I've been able to garner and tell people I would talk about on the Certified Practitioners page. So just a lot to go on. Of course, if you want to call me and talk with me directly, it's 502-414-3436. They'll put it on the screen, 502-414-3436. You can give me a call and we can have a conversation about whatever it is that you would like to discuss or talk about at that point in time. Okay, let me pull up some notes here. Few things that we do want to talk about. Hazel's with us also on Castbox. Thank you, Hazel. Nice to be with you today. Okay, we're going to have a drawing today. There was a contest for a free hotel stay for MagnaCon at the Galt House here in Louisville. So we're going to have that drawing here in a little bit and talk about that and all that kind of good stuff about MagnaCon coming up. And if you haven't gotten your tickets, you need to get them. I want to say we're filling up, but we've sold more tickets for MagnaCon this year than any year that we've had. So we're anticipating a very large group of folks to be with us in Louisville at the Galt House downtown on the river. So it's going to be great. We'll be treating animals out overlooking the river outside, just on the Belvedere. It's just going to be a lot of fun. And you can get to a lot of great entertainment venues within walking distance, just a couple of blocks of the Galt House. So again, we're just looking for a great time at this year's MagnaCon. Get your tickets if you don't yet have them, and so you can join us this year. We're really looking forward to it. Okay, and something that was exciting this week, Knicks Go was named the Horse of the Year. Knicks Go uses MagnaWave, and so we're excited about that. And following Knicks Go on his travels and his racing around the country has been really exciting and fun time. So Horse of the Year, Knicks Go, congratulations. Always exciting to see that take place. All right. We also had a question about a study that we're doing. It's been going on in California. The study is complete. The results are being tabulated so we can make a presentation and talk about the results of the study. So that's still in process, and we'll have more on that later. And here's some questions that folks would like to have answered. My mare, this is from Janie. My mare does not seem to enjoy treatment. I keep it on the lowest level and she still tenses up. Any suggestions? Well, every horse is different. Over the years, I can say I've had a few horses that just did not like what was going on. Just like there are horses that don't like to be clipped. And it's a challenge to clip the horses, and they don't like it, and they don't want to be around it, but you have to clip them. And the same thing, you may have a horse that does not enjoy it and walks away from you. If they just walk away continually, and maybe they don't need it, maybe you're going to have to just do it anyway, but you just can't say that every horse is going to enjoy it. And sometimes, though, over time, they come to understand what's going on and enjoy the treatment. Lowest level, it's just hard to say, but every animal is different. And yes, there are some of those animals, as I say, that don't even enjoy being clipped or taken care of in that fashion. So suggestions would be to be consistent. I would try one thing potentially is not turn on the machine. Take the coils, put them on the horse, and move them around the horse like you're rubbing or petting the horse, and just move the coils all around in that fashion. Let them become used to the coils. It could be a sight thing. They see that white cord and the loop that just can assimilate different thoughts to them and make them very nervous if they're not comfortable with that. So make them comfortable there. So I would do that. I would treat in that fashion and move it all over. And then what I would probably suggest, we used to do this when I first started treating horses, is I'd go to the horse's chest and just below the neck in the heart area, and I'd put the coil there and let them become used to it. And so once they're used to you using the coil with no signal at all, go to the chest, put it on the absolute lowest setting, and turn it on and see how they do. If they become agitated at the feeling that they're receiving on the lowest signal, or what it is that's happening, you could just have a horse that's that sensitive to the fields being produced and what's going on. But maybe if you took the coil and worked the animal comfortably, let them get used to what's going on, and then bring the procedure into play, you may get a better result at that time. Let us know how that works out. Also have a pony with a snotty nose and a cough. Can and how would I use MagnaWave on him to help? I would treat the head, the sinus area, treat the pole, treat the neck and the esophagus, the neck area of the horse, but I'd treat the pole and the head to help clear that area out. It's kind of like sinuses. I had a sinus headache the other day, not a sinus headache, but real sinus congestion. And I simply took the paddle is what I had. And I put the paddle here, and then I put the paddle over here, treated on a very low setting for 5 minutes is what the machine I have runs. And it helped clear things up and open things up. And that's what you're going to look for, though, is to help clear up the area and work it. You can work the lungs. I'd work the upper lobes of the lungs, and then the lower lobes of the lungs also. I'd increase the setting to treat that area to help get the congestion potentially moving, to get good oxygenation in the area of the lungs to help clear up the cough and go forward with that. But those would be my suggestions for an animal that's having that type of congestion. That's from Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Having any success or thoughts on a horse with squamous cell carcinoma of the eye? Squamous cell carcinoma of the skin is a common form of skin cancer that develops in the squamous cells and makes up the middle and the outer layers of the skin. It's usually not life-threatening and could be treated, although it can be very aggressive. So obviously it can move to other parts of the body, which is in this case in the eye. And certainly talk with the veterinarian and check with what their suggestions are. But to place the coil, potentially the large loop over the eye, and treat that area at a low setting. It's our understanding that cancer cells don't like oxygen. We're going to improve the oxygenation to the area, so that can help with that as well, to bring good oxygen to the area to potentially attack the cancer. It's going to help the blood flow to the area, which can help the oxygen better do its job. Work with the veterinarian. They know what their treatments are. They know what they're doing and what they presume or propose to do. And I would follow their recommendations to the T. But that is a suggestion that I would have. We have noticed in some cancerous type situations in animals that we can have tumor reduction. We can have things that it enhances the use of the medication, which is another question that I want to get to here in just a moment with regard to medications. But that would be my thoughts as to how to treat the area. If they're concerned that they don't want you treating exactly over the area, which could be the recommendation from the veterinarian, treat the neck, treat the pole, so you get good blood flow coming to the area and good oxygenation coming to the area to better let the oxygen attack the cancer cells and do its job that it can do in that area. You don't have to treat right over it. You can treat, as I say, the pole, the back of the head, the neck, so all the blood coming up that area can enhance what they're trying to work on in the area. I don't feel that it's something that's going to promote the movement of it. If that was the case, they wouldn't want to be walking the animal or doing anything to increase blood flow as they're going, if that was the issue. Cancer cells work on the lack of oxygen, and they attack areas and they go in that type of fashion. So that's what you want to think about as you're approaching that type of situation. Okay, if you have a question, give me a call. The number, again, is 502-414-3436. Send me a text, and I will call you back and we can have a conversation about whatever it is that you would like to talk about. So we are about 22 minutes in, actually, or 20 minutes in, because we were a few minutes late getting started. Before I go on to the next question, let me come back over here to Tony. Tony, do we want to have this drawing for the person that gets the free room at MagnaCon? And I see I've got some questions building up in the Leilani has a question. Oh, she's talking about the that's a good point, Leilani. We'll address that here in just a second. What do you think, Tony? You want to do the drawing? Tony, are you there? Tony.
I'm here, Pat. Yeah, let's do it.
What's going on? Do we want to? This is Tony. Tony is our videographer and director of all of this, and helps keep me going when it comes to the broadcast. So there's Tony Rawlings, great guy. We certainly enjoy his being with us. Okay, you want to do this drawing?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Right. Let's do it. It's coming. He's going to spin the wheel. Here we go. And the wheel is spinning. Gosh, I'm going to need to put my glasses on here to potentially see what's happening here. Terry Hibner, there you go. Terry Hibner is going to win a free room for MagnaCon. Good deal. Terry, congratulations. Thanks for spinning the wheel for us, Tony. Always fun to do those kind of things and have giveaways and where people can enjoy and be part of the MagnaWave family coming up here. So let me go up here and see what questions we got here. Someone approached me about sponsoring a horse. Any suggestions? I've only sponsored a rider. Well, I mean, you could certainly do that. They should wear the saddle cloths and so forth, and your logo, your name on their garments. It's kind of like sponsoring a rider, but we're also doing the horse. I don't see. I mean, Go Knicks that we've been active with. Our Knicks Go is something that we've worked on, and certainly I pretty much you're going to get some signage on the door, on the stall, on the trailer, things like that to promote your abilities that you're working with the horse. I think that's a great idea. If you want some thoughts on that, you call the office, talk to the marketing department, and they can kind of bring you up to speed as to what's available. I can imagine a stand-up banner with the horse's picture on it, with your logo and the MagnaWave logo maybe, and names, and just a way to get that you're treating the animal and working well and helping it with its success. I think that'd be a great idea, Wendy, to have a look at that. Leilani points out, giving Gold Wowie prior to treatment relieves anxiety. Great idea. You could use some CBD, Gold Wowie, and feed it to the animal. Kind of relaxes them, lets them have less anxiety, and may be very receptive to the treatment that you're giving. Leilani, you may be able to bring us up to speed. Just throw this on the screen as to how long in advance you would recommend doing that. Should they do that in the morning and have the treatment in the afternoon, as far as the anxiety levels that you can help control with the CBD? So great question, Leilani. Thank you so much. Della's with us. Katie's with us from windy Minnesota. Bridget's with us this morning. What machines do you have that horses do not like, might need serviced? Let's see. What machine do you have that horse does not like, might need serviced? The might need service kind of throwing me. I don't know that we have any machine that a horse would not like. Certainly, the animal needs to be comfortable with the device that you're using. Certainly, the analog machines, the actual spark chamber machines, produce a little sharper signal. The digital machines have I describe it as a sharpened number 2 pencil, or a number 2 pencil that's been used a little bit. The tip is just a little duller. The digital signal goes in to the body a little softer, if you will. And so there could be animals that are more comfortable with that type of delivery of the signal. I've not experienced any devices over the years. I've had horses that have not cottoned to the machine from the get-go, but typically they do understand, and once they start feeling better, then they like what you're doing a lot differently. And my neighbors here have a dog, I can't think what it is right this moment. But anyway, they have a large dog, and the dog hated the machine. They turned the machine on in their coach, and the dog would walk away to the back of the coach, wouldn't want to be around it. But as the dog became more comfortable with the clicking and with what was going on, and now they start treating the dog. Now the dog loves the coil, loves the machine. When the dog needs to be treated, it goes and lays down on the coil saying, turn the machine on and treat me. So each animal is different. And when it comes to the treatment regimen, but I hope that helps your question with regard to machines that animals don't care for or don't like. Bridget, thank you. It's good to be here with everyone. All right, let's see. Is there an ETA on the human website? I can find no human in the media or video library. We are in the process on the human side. As you know, we've discussed that we're becoming FDA registered with the machines. We want to have at some point all of the machines safety tested and FDA registered across the board. And that's certainly a goal that we have. We're trying to be very careful at this point to we don't want to cross that line. The FDA has been sending letters and has been talking to people about some companies are making claims that they clearly should not be making. And that's always something that we watch out for. And so we try to peruse the websites regularly to make sure that we don't say things that are inappropriate or are not acceptable to the FDA guidelines and the regulations accordingly. So we are getting very close on that. I would certainly say within the next 3 to 4 months, the site will be live on the human side, and will allow us to be able to say what we legally can say with regard. Now, to that end, a good place to see that and get that information is in the testimonial section, because what you say, what a person shares in a testimonial piece, and we're working on some articles that can share those types of things, types of information that's not coming from us necessarily, but is coming from the customer base, and a customer can verbalize much easier than I can about what something does or how it works or the results that they had. But we are there. We're walking softly as to be within the guidelines of the FDA, and not to say the wrong things. And it's happened. There have been a couple of companies out there that they've had some distributors and some reps make some claims, and all of a sudden they can't bring devices into the country, or they can't sell devices for a period of time until they clear up on their website and what they're saying. It's becoming more understood, more accepted, more mainstream, which is what we want, to be more in the mainline medicine area, and to help all the animals, and hopefully, and as we move along with the people, to be able to enjoy and benefit from this therapy. So it's coming. ETA, I'd say in the next 2 or 3 months that you'll see more in that area. Hello from Iowa, Stacy. Bridget has a question. I myself have a full knee replacement coming up this month. Surgery saying to do whatever I want with treatments. Your suggested protocols post-surgery after active bleeding has ended. I have seen a few posts from other practitioners. However, I'd like to hear your input. Thank you. Okay, Bridget, in a situation like that, where you're going to have surgery, and let's just, for conversation's sake, in this particular conversation, talk about a hock injury on an animal or a knee injury on an animal. The key is to, as you pointed out, wait for the bleeding to stop and to be in control. At that point, you want to begin treatment as soon as possible, to allow to retardation, or to keep scar tissue from developing, to make sure that the tendon and the cartilage and the nerve is all healthy and getting proper nutrition from the treatments that you're providing, and to enhance the availability of the medications that they may be providing to you at that point. So I'd wait for everything to be in place, bleeding stopped, and I would begin treating. I would recommend that you would treat that type of area for start out on a very moderate setting for the first 2 or 3 treatments, but then increase the intensity as your comfort level increases because you've just had surgery or the surgery was just performed. And then I would treat once or twice a day for 6 to 15 minutes and at a setting that's comfortable, 3 times a day if you wish, 4 hour or so separation between treatments. And basically what happens is when you're treating an area and you're providing energy to the body only can take so much energy at that point. It's like a vitamin. If you take a lot of vitamin C, your body's going to use what it needs and passes what it doesn't. Same kind of thing happens here. After 15 minutes, we're in overkill. So you want to do 15, now that's per location, if you will. So you want to do that type of time frame, 6, 10, 15 minutes. Wait 4 hours, let the body consume the energy that it's got and the energy that you're providing to the area, and then come and service the area again, and then come back another 4 to 6 hours later and do it again. You could do that initially for the first week or 2, and then cut back as necessary. And as the healing continues to progress and the recovery and range of motion are returned to the area, you can hopefully get the results that you're looking for. But that would be my protocol, my recommendation for those types of situations when you're dealing with your animals or clients. Okay, let's see. Have a client whose dog has mammary melanoma, was going to try the mat and large loop over the mammary area. She has had removal surgery 1 month ago. Sound right for treatment? I would say if the surgery was a month ago and you want to treat the area to help the body be in a position to better heal itself and to go forward with it, that would certainly be, I mean, you've waited ample time to begin to help the maybe ancillary pain relief that's going, ancillary pain that's there, that you could help relieve that and help the overall body healing process. Okay, let's see. I tried to get my room yesterday and they said there weren't any rooms available for those dates. Well, now we need to look into that and see what's going on with regard to rooms. I know we have a block of rooms, and I think we have a significant amount of rooms to cover what we're looking for. So we'll check into that certainly and post and get to that situation. Let's see. What CBD oil do you recommend? There is so much out there right now. Well, Leilani is a practitioner of ours. She has the Gold Wowie line, and I have personally used her products very successfully to aid with sleep. When I hurt my knee, I used the roll-on to help the area of my knee, and in fact, I used it last night. The biggest challenge I'm having, some of you know that I had a MCL injury. It's been a couple of months ago now, and for all intents purposes, it doesn't bother me at all, except when I sleep. And when I sleep, you lay on your side or you move around, and your legs will bow a little bit, or they'll have different pressure from being on your mattress, and so it does bother me when I sleep. And I remember when I did the same thing to my right knee several years ago, that was the issue also. It took months for that last little bit of pain and soreness to go away. The only time I experience it is when I sleep. And I used Golden Wowie from Leilani on that with the roll-on, and to help that type of situation. Check out our website and have a look. Okay. Just got my Soul Pro yesterday. I'm loving it already. It was crazy for me to how much more powerful it is than the Loner Soul I had. Thank you so much to the MagnaWave crew. Sabrin, thank you so much for being with us. Now, let me go. I got some more here I want to deal with. Got several things here. I want to come over to a couple of questions that I picked up from the Practitioner page and kind of address those here if I can going forward. I feel like, and Saber asked a question earlier, I feel like my prices are too high, but I think they are comparable to others. I just sometimes think no one around here will pay that for a session. My main focus is on small animals, show stock, and horses. She's in Nebraska. And there isn't a ton of MagnaWave around her, so uh, not sure, not sure if that should drive my prices up or down. What I can tell you, and you're in an area that maybe it's new to the folks, we are making some marketing articles and some marketing videos that I think will help you as far as selling the idea to the horse owner so they understand. Keep in mind that I got my first horses by treating the riders. I got my first horses by letting the owners understand what their horses were going to feel. And so they would understand what we were going to do with the horse. That's not a bad thing to do, is to demonstrate what your therapy is doing. That can take some time. Do not lower your prices. I would not do that. Can you have a special? Can you do something special for some folks going in? Yes, but you have to recognize that it's a special, and you have to recognize that it's only available for a limited period of time, or only one time, and you have to keep your situation. Do not be afraid to demo. I would demo, and then when you stop demoing and they realize that it's helping and they like it on their animals, they're going to want to use you. The most sage advice I ever received, and I've said this before on this program, and I'll say it again, some of you have heard it, I apologize, but I had a veterinarian, a chiropractor, who I thought would look at me as competition. And so we were at a horse show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, at the Indoor Nationals. I'd just been doing treatments for a short period of time, and I'd known this veterinarian for a while. And I was actually, his stature was so large in the hunter jumping industry at that time that I was very timid to be around him, but for fear that, he wouldn't accept me or would think that I was voodoo or, that kind of stuff. But he was a great guy, is a great guy. And so anyway, at the time I was charging $75 a horse. And he came up to me, he walked up to the stall, and I thought, okay, here it is. He's going to tell me that I'm crazy or whatever. And he said, I want to tell you something. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, you need to raise your price. And I said, pardon me? He said, I know what you're doing. I've watched you. I've watched your horses perform after you've treated them, and it works. It's a good therapy. It complements what I'm doing as a chiropractor, and I've worked with him over the years on occasion. But at any rate, he said, you're dealing with a situation that people, they feel that they get what they pay for. And that's very true. And that's true in any situation. If you have a moderate price and you hold to that and you do it and you build your practice accordingly, that's fine. But he looked at me and he said, you need to raise your price. And I was scared to death. And I said, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, in the back of my head that he's telling me that, so I will raise my price and I won't get any work and he's okay. And, but I raised my price that night from 75 to 125 to 150, depending what I was doing with the animals. And I did not have a drop in business. I, in fact, had more people that would talk to me, because if I'm willing to talk that talk and I can talk it well and charge that amount of money, they thought, and they knew that it was worth it. And you know what? It is. And it was. And now, certainly, there are situations you never have gotten at the racetrack with what you can get in another environment. And you have that all the time. You can go buy a General Motors car. You can buy the best, highest priced General Motors car that's built on the same platform as a more moderately priced General Motors car. They both will get you to the same destination, but some people want this one because that's what they like. And so that's the deal. So I would demo. I would look to our marketing department for materials that you can use, news and views. Put it at the grocery store. Go into the grocery store, put 10 or 15 news and views on that table. They all got them, and let your people read them. Doesn't make any difference who reads it. And when you go meet someone, get the video book. Get the video book that does great, provides great information on the services that you're providing, and as an educational tool, and let them have that and see that news and views and just work it from that perspective. That just gives you more credibility that you've got that type of information. You open up that news and views and you see Dr. Marty's articles and Dr. Amanda's articles and things like that. And people read those and it means something. So you need to do all of that. And I don't know, Sabrin, if you've been in the Elaine's business development classes, but you need to participate there if you haven't, because she goes over a lot of stuff to help you build your business and to go forward. And we're learning that we need to do more of that to help the people that as practitioners to build their business and to help things work out. So that's my thought. If you do anything, raise your price, give somebody a discount, but you have your price raised so they feel like they're getting something of value. But I would not lower my price at all, because it just cheapens your value. And you spend a lot of money, you spend a lot of time in education, and we all have, and we've all spent a lot of development stuff and work going on. We need to stand up and go forward in that manner. Hope that helps. Here's a question. They say it wasn't MagnaWave specific, but it was, and it was a person that has a machine from a competitor, which is fine at this juncture. But they treated the person or the client, if you will, had a lidocaine patch and they treated over the patch, and the person started having some got lightheaded and nauseous, and they stopped the treatment. Now, when you're dealing with clients and someone's very toxic and you treat them, they may have a tendency to become lightheaded, or they may become nauseous, or they detoxify, and they're very uncomfortable. But we've talked about when you're treating an animal and they're giving medication to the animal, we often recommend that you let the medication be administered and give it a chance to be digested and to do what it's going to do. Now, at that point, you can come and enhance the medication's ability with good blood flow to do what it better does. If you're dealing with a veterinarian and they want to provide some medication and they want to maybe get more of the medication, more metabolization of the medication, then you might treat when right after the medication is administered, so we get a better metabolization of the medication. But that's a veterinarian question, and that's how you should approach that. But if there's a patch, if you put a patch on an animal for disbursement of medication and you treat right over that patch, you're going to enhance or increase the amount of medication leaving that patch being transferred into the body. So what you would do in that case, if there's a patch and then number one, they don't want to remove it, or it's there for a specific purpose, and you're wanting to treat an area near the patch, or where the injury is, or what you're dealing with on the animal, away, because what's going to happen, the good blood flow is going to go there, but you're not physically right on the patch that could increase the amount of delivery from the patch. So I would not treat directly over a patch in that type situation if it is designed to be releasing material into the body and absorbed into the body. But again, if you're wanting to treat a knee and there's a patch somewhere else on the body with delivery, you can still treat the knee and you're not going to have any effect on that patch because you're treating a very specific spot. Now, maybe that spot could be benefiting from the patch as it delivers its medication, but you're not doing anything around the patch to increase its delivery. Again, if you have something like that, talk to the veterinarian, make sure the owner is aware of that type of situation. Hope that helps. Let's see. I have a young growing horse that gets discombobulated behind after his sessions. He can't hold canter, lead behind, interfaces with his hind legs. Rider says it feels like a loose noodle with no strength. Two things. Again, every animal is different that you're dealing with. I once had a trainer who became a MagnaWave distributor or MagnaWave practitioner. I treated her horse in St. Louis at a show, and she took the horse to the arena within an hour of the treatment, and the horse just kind of lumbered around, discombobulated, if you will, didn't care about what was going on, certainly did not want to go to a jump, so she was not able to compete. The next morning, she got on the animal, and it was like a champion. So she learned that she needed to treat that horse before an event, like a day before the event, and the horse would be great. And she did that for years and continues to work that. She learns her horses, she treats them and works them and sees what's the best time to treat the animals and how to do it at that point. You could, again, as we were talking about, horses that don't want to be clipped may not like the position of this device. I do two things: the length of treatment. If the horse gets discombobulated and you're treating the entire horse, I wouldn't treat the entire horse. If a horse needs something in the knee, treat the knee and let that go. Treat the aspirin point on the hock and just let that do its job, and do a sharp treatment and see what happens. Learn to work the horse. Learn the horse and let the horse show you what it wants. And again, it could be a situation that you need to treat the horse. Let it be in the stall, let it be there. In some cases, we treat racehorses 2 days out, 3 days out sometimes, because that's when they perform their best. Let it do its job, let them relax, and then go work the animal, breeze it or race it, whatever the situation may be. So you got to learn from that animal what the best way is to treat it. I would first cut back the length of treatment initially, cut back the area of treatment initially, and approach it that way. Build with the horse instead of trying to say, well, we're doing this and this is happening everywhere. And again, you could have an animal that just not going to do it. And we don't like that. But they're far and few between, but that case can be there and can happen. Let's see. Got the part where the prices are too high. We've discussed that. All right. So those are the questions there. Let me come over here and see if we've had any calls. Oh, Leilani called. Let's see. Let's see what Leilani's got here for us this morning.
Hello.
Hey, Leilani, what's up?
How are you, my dear?
I'm good.
Well, I just called because it just seems a lot of people are, kind of DMing right now, I guess, because of national news about CBD and getting back to the horse that had the issue of, it's not the machine, it's just like, the fight or flight kicks in, and whether it's thunder, fireworks, or in the case of the horse, it's, different machine until they can get used to it. That's how I got into it. As you know, polo horses are they don't want to get trailered. So they called me here to Aiken to kind of administer CBD, walk them around for 20 minutes. And then, of course, they would relax. They would then they would get into the trailer. So it's the same, just like with, using it. And I just love using my new Soul Pro. Yay.
So let me ask you, we were talking about that for the anxiety. What you do with the polo ponies is how much do you give them?
It depends. We're structured per the weight of the horse, and that's how it should be. So that's the suggested use. So you can start from a pony up to a 2,000-pound draft horse. So on the card, when they buy the product, it states to them exactly what is the starting suggested dose. Of course, you can always go up on the dose, give or take, depending on what that is, but that we give them the suggested dosing.
Okay, so in that type of situation, the horse that we were talking about that did not want to be around the machine or very nervous, that type of thing, you might deliver the CBD, let them walk around, or give them 20 minutes or so, and then begin to approach them. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Right. It comes in a syringe. You put it right in the back of that, back of the mouth. If they like the taste of it, they'll lick it. Talk to your clients. Maybe get up your app. Start doing your paperwork, or payment, and then in about 20 minutes it kicks in. And I'm telling you, I have clients that's just, protection dogs, other animals that just go berserk over just different situations. And in this case, it's the same. You're going into an animal with something that's different, this machine that it's afraid of. So once you get them anxiety under control by giving them that dosing, they'll just accept it more and more. And so, of course, they start loving, of course, what the machine does, right? The licking and the chewing, and they're just all happy as can be. Yeah, it definitely works. And we're lab tested, as you know. I mean, we come out swinging because we have to. We're dealing with horses that range from $100,000 to $300,000. We can't be playing around with CBD that's not, chemical free or toxin free. And now, of course, the riders use it because, horses feel the anxiety too, So
Sure.
if you've been bucked off your horse or thrown off your horse, they now take it before they ride. And so it's a win-win for both.
Great. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you for being our biggest fan.
Okay. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Aloha. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay. Great answer there. The question that we had talked about a little earlier. Let's see here. I've got some more reference to previous talk about horse not enjoy. Refresh has a question. Hi there. PMS is good for inflammation of the suspensory ligament, and how many times a week would you do it for how long? Okay, Jeanette. You would do it if you have a suspensory injury and you have the capability of treating it daily for 10 minutes. I would do that. If that's not a capability, if the client is not comfortable with that or doesn't want to pay for that, then as often as they would allow, I would treat. And that's also a situation that a lot of times if there's a new injury and they need to do it daily for a couple of weeks, that's where Elaine has put the program together where you can rent a machine and then rent it or purchase it, whatever, how you do that, but have rent machines to your clients. So you may have a client that you're working with that you have them, let them have a machine for 2 weeks to treat that area very regularly. And then maybe they can give that back and you do something else with it and treat them once a week to help the healing to progress. So that would be the way to do that. I would do it as often as you can for 10, 15 minutes daily, if possible, and to help move follow with the veterinarian and move the healing process along. Okay. Stacy from Ogden, thank you. British Columbia, what's your thoughts on the Beamer blanket? Well, I would say that PEMF magnetic therapy in all forms is very good and can be very beneficial. There are blankets. I worked with a company called Centurion for years and years. They had blankets lower power, much like the Beamer blankets. There's a couple other companies that make lower power blankets. And the only thing that I ever found when we got into the MagnaWave and the more high intensity units is that we would accomplish in 10 minutes where a blanket would need to be used daily for 2 weeks, for 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, that type of thing. They're very efficient. They do relax an animal, which is very important. So you can get a relaxation. You can do that. But they are lower power, so it takes longer treatments and takes more treatments to get what we get because it's a more high power device in a shorter period of time. I would not knock the therapy that they provide at all. You just need to see what you're looking for as a practitioner, what the customer is looking for to have. And all I can say is when I was making my living selling those types of devices that required 30 minutes daily on the animals, number one, it was hard to find somebody that would administer that daily. And I'd go back and talk to a trainer wherever it be in the country, and the blankets in the barn, because somebody had to put it on, somebody had to take it off, somebody had to clean it, somebody had to make sure the batteries are charged, and all that stuff had to happen every day. And it didn't happen because it's very labor intensive from that perspective to care for and administer that type of thing. Not knocking it, that's just a fact. That's how it works, and that's how it's done. Whereas when you can have somebody come and use a more higher powered machine, pay more for the services, if you will, and but get a result today that's identifiable today, better range of motion, better lead change, better this, better that. That's what people wanted when we started, and that's what people still want. We live in a world of instant gratification. So if I want something, I want it as soon as I can get it. I want my popcorn in the bag, out of the microwave in 4 minutes, tasting like theater butter popcorn right now. And that's how we do it. And so I hope that helps with that particular question. All PMF is good, and it just depends on how you want to use it and what you need to do to get the results that you're looking for, and what the time that you're prepared to spend doing that. Any update on the analog being machines being approved for Canadian and be able to accept health insurance for payments? Okay, Canada's a different situation than the United States. There are certain certifications that are required. ISO 14385 is one, and if you meet the requirements of that type of certification as far as manufacturing and testing and so forth, then you can go into Canada, apply for Health Canada approvals, and then the various functions that you have in Canada for insurance, or to be able to bring devices into Canada easier, is all achieved when you have that type of designation. There is a designation prior to that called ISO 9001 that we are now an ISO 9001 company, and our ISO 14385 as far as the machines that are manufactured for us and that are manufactured that are used will meet that criteria, I think, totally across the board, probably in here it is, February the 1st, hopefully by the end of March or the 1st of April. And at that time, then we can put our manufacturers can put that certification on the labels. We can then apply to Health Canada and European Union to be able to make the certifications that they're looking for as they use the devices in those areas for human or animal uses. So I hope that helps with the update there. Let's see, Maureen, Northern, I got that message. You called and booked my room about 40 minutes ago. Okay, so they got it squared away on the rooms, it looks like. People are reserving their rooms. I have to call and speak with the person. Let's see, I asked about this and the discount price is not available, but okay. Well, okay, there are a lot of stuff going on there with the rooms. Let's see any other questions here. I apologize, I need to look up here to see the questions and read them. Are there any more videos to change out in the video book? Katie, call the office and ask for the marketing department, Tony or Emily, and they can bring you up to speed as to what's available for you, or help you if you want to make a customized video for the video book. If you don't have the video book and you want one, we have them on sale, and they have videos that come with them, and they are in different disciplines. Well, you can have and I'll just open this up, and it starts automatically, but you can change the video
Today, we're stepping into the future.
That's playing.
The science of post-electromagnetic field.
And so you can customize the videos that are in there, or you can have set videos that we have for different areas: large animal, small animal, horses. There'll be some for new devices for the human machines, and so on and so forth. So there you go. Video books are incredible. And yes, call the office, speak with the marketing department, and they'll help you out there. Where do we get news and views? Well, you get news and views is, again, call the, I'm not sure, Emily, are they available online? Can they order them through the practitioner portal, or do they need to call the office and talk with, call your representative, your product specialist? They can help you with that as well if you've got a product specialist in our group that you've worked with, and we'll make sure that you've got the news and views that you'd like to have. You're welcome, Sabrin. I hope I answered your question properly. Let's see. Are those that's a good question. We need to look at that. Are the CBD products competition legal? I would assume not. And, it varies. I know in the racehorse world, the cannabinoids that are in the products, even though they don't show any THC in most of those types of products, they do show in some testing. And so if you have an animal that is in competition that could be tested, check the rules and regulations and see what it says. And if it's not allowed, then you need to follow those guidelines. Some disciplines and various levels of competition allow things that other levels don't. As a comparison, There was a time going back 2007 when we first started dealing with the FEI, and the FEI came out and said, well, we're not going to allow you to use this, and we're going to put strict regulations on it. And we're going to do this. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to kill me, and then I sat down and looked at it, and the number of FEI competitors is small compared to the overall number of competitors or people in the discipline. And I thought, oh, this is going to be bad. And what it actually did is the people that were not in those testing competitive type situations, but they did want to have the best things that they could get for their animals, came to us and said, well, if they can't use it, it must be good because it helps the horses perform. So I'm going to use it on my horse because we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to, and so it really, all that works out. So check the rules and regulations. And that's a good question. We'll reach out to Leilani with regard to her products. I know she uses it on the polo ponies. The polo season's coming up here in April, getting ready to start up. And so good question. Check your rules and regulations. If it's not, if it's in there as a substance that can't be used, don't use it. Use it on an animal that doesn't fit that criteria. Okay, let's see. Let me get down here. Hello again. Need a quick clarification. Soul Pro can it be operated when it's on its side, left on its wheels, or does it need to be set flat when operating? No, it can be on its side on the wheels, or it can be laid flat when it's operating. Doesn't make any difference. How much are the books? Emily will have that information. She can post it in the thing. I think they're $300, but don't hold me to that. Emily will put that information in here or send out an email accordingly. That's a good question, Bridget. I'll be right there. So have a look at the books. The beautiful thing about the book, it's like a computer. I mean, you can take it and leave it with your customer. Let them view the videos, let them share it with their spouse or their assistant trainer or whoever else they're doing. Let them learn from it, and it all adds to your credibility. Pick it back up and give it to somebody else. Don't, they're too expensive to give to someone to have and keep. So, but that's the way to use it. Which machines are needed to operate the PEMF Wave Oasis map? Any of our machines will operate the Wave Oasis map. The difference is the lower power devices, the Spiro and the Soul and some of the devices that are not as strong, you won't feel them. Doesn't mean they're not working. They are working. The signal is there. The Gauss level is there, but you may not feel the actual pulsing because of the strength of the machine. So they kind of go to, if you want one that you're going to feel and the various settings are again felt, then you're going to want to look at the more powerful machines, probably the Semi 10, the Soul Pro, the Pulse Pro, Julian, Maya, Max, those devices. But any of them will provide the signal. You just have to understand that you won't feel it if you're using, let's say, for example, the Spiro. You won't feel it when it's there. You turn it all the way up, you're getting that energy, but you're not going to feel it because it's spread out through the map. Hope that helps. Let's see. What power station generator would I need to run my Maya Duo? What's that battery machine the Jackery is what we're using. I would get a couple hundred watts, maybe 400 watts in delivery. As far as the device is concerned, you want to be able to do that. I used to, with my golf cart, I had a cigarette lighter on it, and I'd plug a little adapter into it and plug my machine right into the adapter and run a max off of my batteries on my golf cart. And I didn't think I would be able to do that. So a lot of folks have used a little motorcycle battery using the terminals and a plug. Something like that would work. So I would say, and I believe, if I'm correct, and again, Emily will probably post this in the thread here, or take a look as you follow this thread online. I believe it's the 400 watt or the second level up device when it comes to the Jackery that is best. I've had a bunch of luck with some clients with a suspensory tear, and multiple clients did minimum twice a week with a 2-month period follow-up ultrasound. We cut recovery time in half. Bingo. Thank you, Geared for Life. Appreciate that. The books are video books are $300. So there you go. Good questions. That's the last one. We're over. We're going to run over a few minutes. It's always fun to be here with you on Castbox as well as Facebook Live and YouTube. And I appreciate your questions. I appreciate talking with you. It's always a great time. And I'll be back next Tuesday again to be with you. And so I want you to wave on to better health. Go all the way with MagnaWave. Have a great week. Thanks for being with me. Bye-bye.